there's been debate over universal basic income. And generally, it's a negative one. That is, people don't like the idea, or at least the ones I've heard don't like the idea of universal basic income. Now, I personally want to see it implemented because the worst case scenario is that it doesn't work, and then you take it out of implication. You get rid of it if it doesn't work, and you no longer implement it. And the point is, when I see a homeless person, I say, well, that will be taken care of. That all of a sudden that guy has a roof over his head. It's a basic income. It's all it's saying is people will have a roof over their head, and they might have 3 square meals. And that is good for society. Now, there are guys out there who will turn around and say, oh, it'll make people lazy. However, 50% of the population, the female half, can be on welfare anytime they like. Matter of fact, they're encouraged to have children before they get it. So now you've got children that they may not even want, they may not even like, they might abuse. But that's what it takes to get welfare, so they get on it. And society, even though they complain about it, doesn't really fight very hard to get rid of welfare. There's some guys who want to get rid of welfare. But the ones who want to get rid of welfare, the reason they want to get rid of welfare is because they want to force the women into position to have to get a guy to take care of them. Not so much get a job, even though that might be there. It's a lesser extent. It's really the idea of saying, well, if these women can't have an easy ride in the government, they have to pair up with me. That's what guys are actually thinking. That's the motivation. And UBI, what guys never say is that, I'm barely getting by. If all of a sudden every guy has an equal amount of money, how do I distinguish myself from the next guy on a financial level? If you're a man who can't do well, at the very least in your head, you're thinking, well, at least everyone else can do worse. I still won't be the lowest. It's a game of I'm better than the next guy. And in the lowest, in this case, is suffering. Guys out there living outdoors, possibly in winter, eating out of garbage. But that makes these guys feel all right, these ones who are against UBI. Because they want men to suffer. And all you guys who are against UBI, what happens if they brought in UBI and then they took it away? What would happen is all the guys who are on it may become homeless. But the women won't be. They'll go right back to welfare. All these guys would say, hey, look at all these homeless women on the street. We got to do something about that, If they don't want to take care of them, if they say, oh, sorry, she's too ugly for me to want to take care of, they're going to demand the government does it, and they do it through welfare. So what these detractors to UBI don't want to say and don't want to admit is that they're really against men having a free ride. And also, it wouldn't be. It's universal. So we'd all get it. And because we all get it, there would take away the stigma of being on it. If everyone, look, how many times has the government just decided to give away like a couple $100 for this or that? I've had it here in Canada where they say, oh, it's been a cold winter, so everyone gets a check. Like, people don't throw the check away and rip it up. They use it. They accept it. And the same with universal basic income. People would accept it, and there'd be no stigma since we all get it. And what would happen is that, well, right now on welfare, basically the only people who take it are the people who are of the personal character that they don't care about the stigma. They really are. They are the bums that take it because of the stigma, and so it's a cart before the horse sort of deal. But really, it wouldn't cause laziness the way people think it is. For one thing, men still want to strive for status. So if you're in a house, let's say you're in an apartment and you get the bare minimum, you might still look at something you want to buy and say, I can't afford that. And next thing you know, you are looking for a part-time job. And other guys want more and they'll look for more work. It's just that it gives you all these options. In other words, if you get in a part-time job and you find your boss is an abusive person, you don't have to take it. You can actually turn around and literally say, I don't need your job. And you would be right. Because you won't starve. Your bills will be paid. Because they screw you. So you would have that kind of freedom. And you'd still want to get a job. You would just jump to another one and you would pick and choose. You would have, and employers just couldn't treat their employees like garbage because that's the way it would be. People would have options and they said, wow, I can't just treat people like shit because they can leave me at any time. So these guys against UBI, they're really against male freedom and male well-being. This is a consumer culture. What happens when mechanization or automation gets so severe that like 20% of the population is without jobs? Society wants people to be consumers. What are they going to consume with if they have no money? And that's what society isn't prepared to do. It's not like the past, It's not a feudal system where the peasants are out there basically working on their own and taking care of themselves and supplying taxes to the king. You get these guys, you get a 10 or 20% of the population that's not working. You just get bums all over the city and the towns. People don't want that. None of these guys want to live that have made it well and make like 6-figure salaries. None of them want to have to live in a gated community. They might want having an isolated one to a certain degree to say, yeah, we're special, but they don't want to have to put gates up in front of their fine houses because everyone outside of it is a bum. And their kids are looking outside and there's bums into your trash cans. None of these guys want that. As usual, people want it both ways. They want the cake and eat it too. They want to say, no, I want a beautiful neighborhood where everyone's getting by and working well, but, I don't want to take care of the people who are down and out. I want to know that my fellow man is suffering, so I can feel good about myself. I mean, people argue against UBI. They're just low character. For me to argue against UBI is because, we tried UBI, it doesn't work, and this is why I don't want to see UBI. But if universal basic incomes ends up working, it's a win-win for everybody, But in any event, there's no excuse for not even trying. Get it implemented. Only selfish, insecure men fight against UBI. I don't see too many women making videos against UBI. I'm not saying there's none out there, but I haven't seen them yet. Every time I see a video against it, it's a guy. Because it's a guy's worry that he won't be able to compete with other guys and that he might actually have to be responsible and take care of his society. It's always a male lowlife, from what I can see. Okay, now that's all I have to say about this. Thank you, everyone.